Te Rūnanga-Ā-Iwi-Ō-Ngāpuhi are throwing their support behind the legal action started by Te Rūnanga or Ngāi Tahu to block attempts by the Māori Fisheries Settlement Trust to change the way surplus funds are distributed. Allocations now distribute benefits on a population basis, but planned amendments to the Act would allow funds to be distributed equally among iwi. Te Rūnanga-Ā-Iwi-Ō-Ngāpuhi Chair Wayne Wharero is with us now. Tēnā koe, Wayne, thank you for joining us.
Tēnā koe, Neil.
Talk us through the planned legislative change and its origins.
So changes were discussed in 2016 at the special general meeting at Te Moana. A motion was provided off the floor and accepted by the then trustees to change the model from one of per population to equal distribution amongst each of the 58 mandated iwi organisations. What that then meant for Ngāpuhi in terms of, say, a $100 million surplus held by Te Moana, Ngāpuhi would miss out by $17 million.
Now, Ngāi Tahu says Te Ohu Kaimoana has made an error in the law. What do you feel is wrong with the planned amendments?
Apart from the equal distribution to iwi, what that would then mean is that an iwi such as Ngāpuhi, who nominally at the moment is sort of 165,000, would get the same amount as an iwi with 3,000 people in it. Right. So clearly that would be unjust for our individual Ngāpuhi. We sympathise with all Māori, actually. I think if we look back at the settlement, it wasn't a good settlement. However, we are stuck with what we've got at the moment in terms of the legislation.
Wayne, no, sorry, carry on.
No, you carry. You go.
So what do you see as some of the implications for Ngāpuhi and other iwi if surplus funds are distributed equally?
Well, apart from the disparity of funds allocation, I think we then have some problems with our relationships with one another. Tai Tukero happily for Ngāpuhi we've had the discussion in terms of what the allocation might look like for our district. We have worked out that should it be distributed in the new proposed model, that the district, Tai Tukero, would miss out by $8 million. If it was distributed as the status quo says, we would obviously gain by that amount.
So what obligation then do you feel to protect the existing settlement agreements?
Well, I mean, the role of Te Moana Trust is to protect that settlement and therefore to protect the allocations and the resources allocated to Māori by the deed itself. So any variation to that must be thought through very carefully. Yeah.
So the decision was made by whom and in consultation with whom?
At the 2016 special general meeting, a proposal was made off the floor without notification that the model sought to equal distribution between each mio would go forward. We objected right from the outset, Ngāpuhi, because we knew that there would be clear, unjust and unfair allocations for our individual or each individual Ngāpuhi. Remembering that it was based on population, i.e. one person gets the same amount of distribution as any other Māori.
Look, I'm not an expert in this area that you are, but some of these decisions just don't make sense to me. Look, how will Ngāpuhi be supporting this High Court action?
We've agreed with Ngāi Tahu right from the outset. We've had a meeting with Ngāi Tahu. We are aware of other iwi, the larger iwi obviously, who support us. Up in Taitokoro, as I say, we do have support in general about the distribution model remaining status quo. In saying that, though, you know, there are anomalies and there are iwi who may not agree. In saying that, though, generally we do have consent from our Taitokoro whānau.
Okay. Te Rūnanga-Ā-Iwi-Ō-Ngāpuhi Chair Wayne Wharero, thank you so much for joining us today, ngā mihi.
Tēnā koe, tēnā tātou.